Welcome to the League. This is Real Takes with Major League, where I break down today's headlines and give you the takes that actually matter. Today, Trump finally admits he's been using Project 2025 the whole time. DHS raids in Chicago collecting black bodies. And Republicans are getting the blame they deserve for this government shutdown. But before we get started, remember, hit that subscribe button, share this video with your community, and join the conversation down in the comments. Let's go.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas, I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book.
That was Trump in 2024 during the campaign. This is Trump today. I have a meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are political scam, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They are not stupid people, so maybe this is their way of wanting to, quietly and quickly, make America great again, President DJT. Thing number one. For over a year, Trump swore up and down he had absolutely nothing to do with Project 2025. Fact checkers at major news outlets even carried water for him, calling the claim by the Kamala Harris campaign false when Democrats tried to link him to Project 2025. But Trump woke up on one, I guess, today, admitting he had a meeting scheduled with Russ Vought, literally the architect of Project 2025. He wrote the book on it, and these two have scheduled time to talk about further ways to actually implement it. And the fact that he was able to hide behind the lie for such a long time shows you how much the media is complicit in his disinformation. Thing number two, he's already implementing it. The website Project Tracker 2025 shows that the Trump administration has already implemented about 50% of the agenda items in the list, from dismantling federal oversight to gutting worker protections. Trump has used his executive power and his legislative allies to already turn half of Project 2025 into reality. We didn't need this smoking gun memo. The evidence is in the policies themselves. It's like watching a fire and waiting for proof that somebody lit the match. By the time they prove it, the whole house is burned down. Thing number three, Project 2025 isn't some think tank fantasy. It's a roadmap to dismantling democracy. At its core, the plan calls for shutting down dozens of government agencies and centralizing power to the executive branch. Imagine no independent DOJ, no EPA, no government watchdog standing in between you and authoritarianism. That's the vision Trump just admitted to being 100% on board with. And without government watchdogs and oversights, we get shit like this.
But they banging on the windows trying to get people to know it's humans. They transporting bodies in the middle of the night. This kidnapping.
That witness video was taken around 1 a.m. Tuesday morning. Footage shows people, including women carrying children, being led away by federal agents. We're told it was Border Patrol, the FBI, ATF, and more who joined forces to find members of the infamous Tren de Aragua gang. They were on the hunt for people accused of drug trafficking or who had outstanding weapons charges. A building resident took CBS News Chicago crews inside to show us holes in the wall that he says are a result of Tuesday's raid.
Like they had it planned out for weeks. It was like a movie. I got it on recording on my phone and everything. It was like a movie. It was really scary. They had my boyfriend locked up. Yeah,
He's a citizen?
He's a citizen. He's black. Yeah, he's a citizen.
So we asked DHS about that brief detainment of U.S. citizens. No response. We also asked DHS for a list of charges against the 37 people arrested. No response to that either. We also asked, does DHS have proof that the people that they took in were members of that Tren de Aragua gang? No response.
Thing number one, in Chicago, masked DHS agents stormed a South Shore apartment building, taking 37 people into custody. It was a massive and military-style operation using flashbangs and kicking down doors. This happened in the middle of the night, so many people, families, kids were sleeping. and woken up by a DHS raid that looked like they were going after a drug cartel. Thing number 2. Reports on the ground said some of the agents spoke Spanish, but they targeted specifically Black and Latino neighborhoods. But a lot of people dragged out of their homes in the middle of the night were Black U.S. citizens. That tells you this has very little to do with immigration paperwork and more to do with skin color. These raids are racial profiling at a mass scale. And for some context here, the U.S. Supreme Court recently gave the Trump administration and ICE officials the ability to legally racial profile Black men, Latino men, based on their skin color and the language they're speaking. That's why these agencies are treating brown skin as a threat by default. The message to this community in Chicago and Black and brown communities all around the country is that your neighborhood is under siege and you have no right to feel safe, even if you are an American citizen. Thing number 3. This is racial profiling under the guise of immigration enforcement, and it mirrors the authoritarian tactics laid out in Project 2025. Consolidate power, strip away rights, and target vulnerable communities. These raids are not about illegal immigration. They're about normalizing state violence against brown bodies. And one of the reasons ICE may be ramping up these raids is because their boss is losing a lot of the confidence of the American people.
You're going to bear the brunt of the responsibility if indeed there is a shutdown of our government.
Well, if you say who gets fired, it always has to be the top. I mean, problems start from the top, and they have to get solved from the top, and the president's the leader. And he's got to get everybody in a room, and he's got to lead. You know, the interesting thing is in 25 years and 50 years and 100 years from now, when the government is, when they talk about the government shutdown, they're going to be talking about the president of the United States. Who was the president at that time? Mm-hmm. They're not going to be talking who the head of the House was, the head of the Senate, who's running things in Washington. So I really think the pressure is on the president.
And as it turns out, he was right. A Washington Post poll conducted yesterday, October 1st, found that 47% of U.S. adults blame Trump and the Republicans in Congress, while 30% blame Democrats and 23% say they're not sure. Thing number 1, history tells us exactly why this is true. Whenever the government shuts down, the people blame the party in charge. That's been true for Democrats, and it's true for Republicans. And now, as he predicted, it's true for Trump. His attempt to spin this as the Democrats' fault is falling flat because people can see who's actually in charge. The Republicans have the executive branch in both houses of Congress. They can open up the government tomorrow if they wanted to. And when the economy starts to feel the effects of this government shutdown, that chorus of blame is only going to grow louder. Thing number 2, the bigger problem is Trump isn't just failing at government. He's using this government shutdown as cover for something more sinister. This is the part of Project 2025 where they try to shut down government agencies forever. They don't want to be bargaining for a budget. They want to dismantle the structure of government. Every day this shutdown goes on, Trump has more leverage to say government just doesn't work because him and his cronies are making sure it doesn't. Thing number 3, for the Democrats, this is a make it or break it test for their leadership. If Schumer's and Jeffries hold the line, they can frame this as Republican ineptitude. And the polls are already showing that that's what the people see. And if they win this fight, they get to tell the American people that they saved their health care. This is bigger than one shutdown. This is about whether the government can withstand a coordinated attack from within. The polls are a warning sign. The question is whether Democrats can turn that to action before the problems become permanent. Thank you for joining Real Takes with Major League. Remember to hit that subscribe button, share this video with your community, and join the conversation down in the comments.